Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome back, everyone, for an extra special episode 435 of the Massenomics podcast. We are the lifting podcast about nothing. We are Marshall, and my name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy. Sometimes I ask myself, what would Huck Finn do again?
And the strength co plates are made in the USA. It's been a while since we've recorded. How long do you think it's been, Tommy?
A while.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Yeah, it's been about 1 week. Actually, you're right.
It's been about 1 week since you've looked at me. If I remember right, you cocked your head to the side and said you're angry.
Mm-hmm. It's all coming back to me.
New sound on my board. I'm pretty proud of it.
The board is electric over there. The board's blowing up.
The big debate in scenarios is it's been
a while.
Or
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
It's one or the other. It's either been a while or
that
it's been a week.
That bare naked ladies really kicks.
Man, they just don't make them like that anymore, do they?
They don't make them like they used to, do they?
No, they do.
It has been 1 week since you looked at me. And this week's episode, it's extra special. We'll get to many of those special reasons. But first, I want to make sure that you all know that this week's episode is brought to you by our good friends at Build Fast Formula, located just down the road from us here in Watertown, South Dakota. Right now, they're offering free shipping on all orders in the U.S. that are $100 or more. Also, I'd mentioned you can use discount code Massenomics. That'll save you 10% on your entire order. If you subscribe, get a subscription model on any product, that saves you another 10%. There's just savings after savings after savings. My favorite use of their goods right now is mixing 1 scoop of Vaso Blitz with 1 scoop of the full Blitz.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Pre-workout blend. That's kind of the sweet spot of caffeine. That's kind of a higher caffeine day for me, lower for some people, but right in the sweet spot. So that's my go-to.
But it is for sure
right now.
high performance.
Yeah. High performance, absolutely. Check them out. BuildFastFormula.com.
I've also been a fan of hitting that 80-20 every night before bed. It's like the little sleep potion. Just get that, get you that protein levels up, and then you can honk shoe the night away, right?
Honk shoe, honk shoe. I do that sleeping noise to some of my little kids sometimes.
Oh, I do it all the time to them.
They love that.
Yes. Every time I'm pretending to sleep when we're playing or something. Oh yeah, they get them every time. This episode is also brought to you by Texas Power Bars. I'm not sure if it's a secret or not, but just looking around on their website right now, and for some reason, the 29mm Texas Power Bar is $50 off in all styles. So might be my favorite power bar of all time for the money. You can get the 29mm Texas Power Bar, black zinc, chrome sleeve for $255. Tell me a better deal, because I'm not aware of one. The 29mm, and actually all of the Texas Power Bars have been our go-to bars in the gym, and Massenomics gym specifically, for well over, I don't know, Tanner, how long's the gym been around now?
Bert near 8 years, something like that.
Bert near 8 years, they've been our go-to
Any live
bars.
listeners that are gym guys? I see Big Anthony. Someone might know better than me.
Also, a fun fact about Texas Power Bars is after you have like 15 of them, they just start to
like 9 years. 9 years,
okay.
actually. Maybe now almost 9 years.
After you have like 15, 20 of these bars, they start to just duplicate and just they grow more on their own. If you go to the gym, you'll see that they just keep populating. So if you'd like to get a Texas Power Bar yourself and save a little money, head on over to TexasPowerBars.com and tell them Massenomics sent you. Thank you, Texas Power Bars.
You're good friends at Massenomics even.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. We are officially off the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic 2024. So, of course, we can do our preview of the preview of the preview of the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic 2025 this week. That's what this week's episode is, a preview show for the back.
Gone full circle here, baby.
The cycle continues. I wish I had a Lion King button.
If there's one thing I know, there's always next week.
There's always next. When it comes to the Massenomics podcast, there literally is always next week. We do have Big Trey Mitchell is going to be joining us a little later this episode. We do have multiple topics to get to. Is there anything you're really hankering to lead off with? I could go one of about 6 ways here.
Let me take a quick look. No, I'm not hankering for anything. I'll let you take the lead here.
Okay, I just first want to talk about Big Sam's warm-up routine.
Good call. Yes, good call.
Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, so I just want to mention this. Big Sam, of course, he was in our chicken bake eat-off, 7 straight days of nothing but chicken bake, and then more recently, he competed at the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic, competing in not only the powerlifting meet, but the strongman meet both. And
there can't be too many people that have ever done that in their lives.
I think he's done it twice.
I mean,
I've seen a few people do it around in the crew before, but that's pretty intense stuff. That's pretty hardcore.
He's moving some weight too. He's not.
Oh yes, that's actually worth noting too. I think he squatted like 600 pounds.
I think he squatted and deadlifted 600 and benched like 380 or something like that.
And I'm thinking maybe at like 230. I don't know Big Sam's body
It's
weight,
around there. It's somewhere in that region.
So good. He put up great really good powerlifting numbers, and then also did he said 225 on a good day, and then he also did very well in the strongman competition. That none of that is the craziest thing I learned.
None of that even matters.
None of that is the craziest thing that we learned about Big Sam over the weekend. So this is real. This is factual. Some people witnessed him do it in Massenomics gym. He explained this to me. I have to say at first, it took me quite some time to understand that he wasn't just messing with me. I'm like, oh, you're really sticking to this gag hard that this is what you do. And so here it is. His warm-up for any lift. We'll use the squat as an example because it's the example he used. And Big Sam, if I have any details wrong, you go ahead and jump in since you're listening live. But if he a lot of times does working sets of upper fours, into the 500 pounds on squat. So say that day he's going to do working sets at 5 plates, 495. The first squat that he does for the day is with 495 pounds. He loads up all the plates on the bar and does his first set. And that is the first, to be clear, he doesn't squat the bar. He doesn't squat 135. He doesn't squat 225. He doesn't squat 315. He doesn't squat 405. He walks in, loads all the plates on the bar, and does his first set.
Or did he say like at 495 that he might do like a set at 4 plates? Or am I remembering that wrong even?
That'd be a Big Sam.
But yeah, if anything, there was one warm-up set, if anything, at the most.
He did. I know he said this, that he can't remember the last time that he squatted under 4 plates.
Yeah,
he's done a squat with less than 4.
Yeah, he says here, if I'm doing 505 for 2 sets of 5, then my first set is 505. God,
right?
It's just, I feel like things would be popping and exploding and just breaking on me. Yeah, he says, if I'm going for 1, I'm assuming at 8 RP, I might hit a 405 for a pause single. Is that what he's saying?
And yeah, and I suppose that's a gauge as much as anything if you're shooting for a certain RPE for the day. And he said it's a strong maybe that he would pull that 405.
You don't want to over exhaust yourself.
Big Sam, make sure I understand. How about on meet day? So we just had meet day Saturday. First lift of the competition is squat. I assume you opened up in the 500 pounds. What did you do in the warm-up room? Did you take anything in the warm-up room? What was your opening attempt? And he opened at 567. All he did in the warm-up room was 405 for a pause squat. 405 for one pause. And I assume nothing prior to that, just 405 for one pause squat, and then he went out and did 567 for his opener. Nothing for bench, opened at 331. Deadlift, he did 405 for a single because someone else loaded it already, and then he went and took his opener, which I assume was 550 pounds.
And he
567 again.
Like, this sounds insane, and I mean, it is insane, but he said his reasoning was, after they had kids or their first kid, whatever it was. Yeah, he was just so short on time that he started cutting out more and more warm-up sets until he realized he just wasn't warming up at all, and it didn't affect his lifting. So good for you, man. That's incredible.
I could see the path of how you could get there based on what you're saying there
It's like
too.
a
You
gateway
know,
drug. It's like, I don't got it. I just keep taking this farther and farther.
I have over the prep of this for this strongman competition and over the last few months, I have actually been spending less time warming up just because some of my workouts were taking so long. I just needed more time for the workout in order for me to even get them done. And I was doing less warm up things. I'm like, let me take whatever I think is the most bang for my buck warm up. And like on squat, my ankles were so, particularly my one ankle, I had to get my ankles ready to go. And then after that, I'm just going in the squat position and doing squats and like moving in the exact way that I'm going to. And that was like all I was doing for like squat and deadlift and pretty much anything lower body. And that did work for me. Sometimes I, very guilty of this myself, get in the trap of doing probably way too many things not just like getting going.
My problem has always just been over the years, just doing way too many reps, like sets leading up to the thing. That's one thing I have cut down in more recent years. I could be more aggressive with it, but I'm just not on that much of a time crunch at the moment. So I'm fine with where I'm at right now.
I could see going down how you get down that path though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you're like, and if you're like, it's fine, then what do you need it for? I mean, if you don't need it, what do you need it for? You don't need to do it for the sake of doing it.
In and just go right to your work. Like how much time you save right off the bat there?
Like 20 minutes.
Oh God. Yeah. Maybe more depending on what you're doing that day,
Right. And I'm not saying, also a lot of people probably can't do that, whether it's physical or mental or a combination of both. But if you can.
Would you say a lot of people don't have the mental toughness to handle such a feat? Is it calling everyone out right now?
I almost think like some of the warm up is more mental than physical. When you're doing a lot of those warm ups, it's just like a mental thing that you're just like getting your mind ready for what you're going to do. Is you're
getting used to how this one feels. That's to me what it is more than anything.
Yeah. So that I had to get that out there. That is Sam's warm up routine or lack thereof. I had to tell many, many people about that over the weekend because I've just never heard of it before. I can't recall ever hearing somebody that does that.
I mean, you hear of people that don't lift very much weight doing it because it's just, there's like not much to warm up to, but
right. And he did tell me that his warm up for strongman was the powerlifting meet. So he was pretty warm. He was pretty ready to go. By
he was overexhausted at that point.
Yeah.
He was overly warm.
Yes. Okay. So that's my Big Sam warm up routine that I teased from last week's episode. Do you have a can over there at all this week, Tommy?
Yes, I do.
What are you drinking?
Got a little Waterloo on me, orange vanilla.
Oh, a little Waterloo myself. Not quite orange. Looks orange
Waterloo
though.
Boys over here.
Waterloo peach. Wow, they really look similar.
Yes,
Is it just the same can?
Yeah. Oh. Someone just scratched out the peach on mine and wrote orange on the marker.
I notice you're wearing the lifting department Massenomics tee.
It's a classic.
Completely sold out of all sizes, as well as our squats shorts completely sold out of all sizes now. Those both ripped through on those. What I would tease is coming later this year, we do have, if you liked that stuff, which a lot of people did, we've got more stuff in the works
coming, you could say.
Scratch those itches. Yeah, big things coming for sure. Oops. Did I get any in me?
Yeah. That 100% cotton shirt's going to stay wet a while there.
Now I got to go through this whole episode looking like a buffoon. Yeah, not any different than normal, is it?
Tanner's spilling his drink all over himself over here.
Guess I've had one too many.
But you did trim up the beard though, so you don't got to worry about that. What was the inspiration there?
I kind of my beard was pretty long. It was getting up there with as long as it had been, and I was kind of feeling that post Lift Hard Live Easy was going to be a good opportunity.
Like change of the seasons, kind of.
Yeah, I think here's my honest thing. I think a really big beard looks cool for competing in strength sports. If I'm being honest, I think and
content in general,
right? And content in general, like that's kind of, it seems stupid, but it, like there's all the stupid like Viking things, and none of us are Vikings. Maybe some people actually are descended from Vikings, but it is like you're like if you're pretending you're like some warrior or whatever. I don't know. That's like an extreme, and I don't really think quite like that. But there is something there where I'm like, I just want to be, it's like a
it's no different than playoff season and people let their hair go, their facial hair go. It's the whole thing,
Yeah. So I had been planning on cutting it after the Lift Hard, Live Easy. Actually, I'm kind of been toying the idea with a haircut too. If I didn't have to go anywhere, didn't have to schedule it, and didn't have to take any time to do it, I would already have a haircut.
Like when you say haircut, like how much are we talking here?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
Whoa.
Anywhere between like the most, at the very least, the most significant trim I've had ever in 5 years.
Okay.
I could go with like cutting it to like that right there.
Really?
Like I wouldn't mind if it was just like
Tanner's like showing shoulder length. You don't think that'd be a pain to have it like that length again?
This is a pain for my ponytail situation. Like I need less to work with, less length to work with back there for a while.
Okay.
And like it's just for noon ball and lifting, like when I get real sweaty, like it's a little either that or I would need to be taught like a new method of how I'm putting my hair up.
I do forget about that though. Yes, because my hair is so curly that when I do like a bun, it just turns into this giant ball. And like it doesn't go anywhere. It's just
and mine's
back there.
So straight that it just goes like,
and it still probably hangs down. Yeah.
See, it all hangs straight down from whatever point that it's.
Yeah, like my bun
it needs to all be in contact with something to stay.
Right.
And I just don't have that mastered.
Yeah, mine the longest it ever gets is like slightly above shoulder length, and it's just never in my way.
And then like today when I'm playing noon ball, it gets loose, and then it starts being down here, and I am. When I play basketball, I am drenched in sweat. Like my hair is still wet right now from 9 hours ago from playing basketball. If that's, so I need to address that for a while.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the least I would cut it. The most I've even have thoughts of, I might just cut it all off and start over.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not sure about that, but that's been toying with the idea.
Wow.
I'm not saying I wouldn't let it just, I wouldn't cut it all off and then just not get a haircut again for 5 years. Like that could be very possible, but I'm not really sure.
Okay. So everyone keep an eye out for Tanner's glam session coming.
The biggest hurdle though is like I have no interest in
venturing out into the public.
Like I don't want to go to dentist appointments. I don't want to go to doctor's appointments. I don't want to go to haircut appointments. I don't want to go to any of those things.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you need to get it done.
Yeah. Let's see.
We got a shout out recently.
Oh,
Garage Gym Reviews. I was laughing pretty hard. I saw the video. Actually, what? Let's get the name of this video down right here. It was
Tyler Thompson has quite the head of hair on him, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he does. Did you see in the video when I talked about it? He always, I didn't realize how he always kind of keeps that hidden up behind him, so you never really see it.
I don't even know if I knew he had long hair.
I mean, if you told me to guess, he would not come to mind for whatever reason. I just don't picture him as that.
But his was like, it kind of reminded me of yours in a way, and I'm like, I don't even know. That might go down to like his ankles. Like it just seemed like it just seemed like a never, like if you just, he's like Rapunzel that he could just keep pulling it out of that wherever it's at back there.
He does have a lot back there. But Home Gym Reviews, they had a video come out 4 days ago as of the time of this recording called The Home Gym Iceberg Explained. And it's like this meme thing. It's kind of almost like a tier list, but the top of the iceberg is the most obvious stuff you do in the home gym community. And then as you go down, if you're looking at this picture of the iceberg, each level is, deeper and deeper into the depths. And it's supposed to be mostly a funny video. And I mean, it was like whatever. I was just kind of scrolling through it, eating lunch, didn't have anything else to watch. And then for whatever reason, I was about to turn it off. It was at the expert level. It was getting close to the end. I think about the 13-minute mark. And in the expert level, he makes a comment like, you have drink spotter. You have a Massenomics drink spotter for everything. Like you have drink spotters all over your gym. So he's throwing that out there. And then a little bit later, he's talking about like the glute ham raise, or you have a reverse hyper. And he goes, even though you have a reverse hyper, you still, Actually, what the hell was he even saying? I can't even remember now.
Something like that.
You made some comment about having a reverse hyper to store drinks on, even though you have Massenomics drink spotters everywhere to already put drinks on. So it was cool getting a shout out a couple times on that.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great.
And in case people are wondering, does getting a shout out on Garage Gym Reviews in the 13-minute mark of a meme video make your sales blow up? No. Did you sell some drink spotters? Yeah, a couple. But not many.
We've talked about it before, probably talked about it on the podcast, but I don't, we've gotten good love, good shares from a whole bunch of different people over the years with all different levels of following, and some were really big followings and all that. None of it does that much. It's just like cumulatively, hopefully it keeps adding up and snowballing and doing something, but
all
nothing
just,
on
moves
its
the needle
own.
like 0.5% at best.
Right.
Like nothing is ever like, whoa, this changes it all.
Nope. At first, we didn't realize that, and we used to get really excited about every little thing and thinking, yep, this is going to be it. And until we realized, like, honestly, who's the biggest name you could possibly think of?
I mean, I'm just trying to think of like if The Rock or Arnold.
If The Rock was wearing a Massenomics shirt or Arnold in a video, what do you think that would do?
I mean, I would almost be surprised if we sold more than like, if one of them had a shirt on, if we sold a couple hundred shirts that day, I'd think, wow, like that's as good as it ever gets.
And I'm skeptical it would do that.
I am.
Honestly.
I mean, actually, I shouldn't even say a couple hundred shirts because there'd be multiple people that would buy multiple, but it's like, would you do 100 orders in that day? I don't even think so.
No, I don't think so. I don't know if one of them had a video where they said, hey, check out this Massenomics drink spotter. Slapped it on something, put a can in there. We'd probably sell quite a few drink spotters from that.
I think we'd sell quite a few, but
yeah, that could be that.
But I mean, that's a direct shout out, though.
Right.
Like, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
I mean, God, I'd hope they do something. There's brands that pay these people tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for a post.
But even it kind of goes back to the thought that, the influencer stuff sometimes, it has to be specific in like to a specific market and stuff for it to actually even be valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the wide net with a lot of the stuff is worthless.
Yeah. What did you have about bags? Is that a quick thing?
Oh, Is
that BA?
This is my bag, baby. We kind of solved this one offline, but I was going to tell you, and this actually ties into multiple things here, is I have officially started the bridge block on Juggernaut, and as part of it, it wants you to add some type of carry exercise in.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And I wasn't totally sure what my option was going to be there. And I thought, you know what? A Cerberus sandbag. They just sponsored the meet as well.
Yep.
A Cerberus sandbag seems like a good item to add to my home gym. And then the dilemma was, what weight do I get? And we arrived at the 220 pound. We talked about this. We arrived at the 220 pound bag. I believe it arrives tomorrow or the next day. So I can start mixing some of those into my training here soon.
So you got to get a little sand and fill her up. There is a Massenomics YouTube
be an
video.
Absolute mad.
Oh yeah.
Am I going to just lose my mind and go with something besides sand? It's not a given in this world.
You mean the dreaded pea gravel? For anyone that doesn't know, I have faith that you're going to stick to the script and go with sand on that one.
I mean, it does say sandbag. I didn't see a pea gravel bag section on the website.
They don't call it a pea gravel bag, do they? We actually talked to Ken about that specifically, and he said you fill it with sand. So,
and he would know. He sells the damn things.
Yeah, I thought. What did we kind of the only two that made sense were either that the two that made the most sense were that one or the one size lower, which is
I think 170. Yeah, 170 or 180, which felt a bit light. And then I'm like, 220 is. I just never do anything with the sandbags. That's where I was like, I know I can pick up a 220. Like, I know that's not a problem. But at the end of a workout, after I've done all this other stuff, am I ready for that? And what I probably settled on is I don't need to fill it to the very top.
Right.
But we'll see. Maybe I will.
Well, and you can always use, if you need to, throw some pea gravel in there. So.
That's right.
I think we determined weight-wise, pea gravel and sand almost comes out exactly the same. You wouldn't think that, but it did seem to not make much of a difference.
What weighs more, 50 pounds of sand or 50 pounds of pea gravel?
That's right.
The old question.
Supporting our supporting member segment this week. So this is a relatively new segment of the podcast where we like to give back to those that give to us, those that give to us being our supporting members. You too can become a supporting member. All you have to do is go to massenomics.com/join. That's where we have our bevy of options to sign up at. You know, there's almost a level there for any appetite that you might have towards supporting. And it really is the number one way to support the podcast. I mean, by far, we'd also love you to buy a shirt, buy a drink spot, or buy a pair of shorts, any of that. But really, like, the number one thing would be becoming a supporting member. If you like the show, that really is a huge part of what keeps this going. If we didn't have the supporting membership program, this might still be a thing. Unknown.
It would be much more debatable if this is still a thing.
Right.
And that's not a joke.
I'm serious. I'm not even sure right now. It'd be
actually, we could almost make this a state. I'm just going to put this as a potential topic of just the business of it all, because we've been hearing some rumblings about different people in the space, and things are shaking up a little bit, you could say.
It's tough out there, honestly. Like, the apparel world,
it's hard out here for
the
a
fitness. That's exactly what I'm thinking. It is tough, and a lot of our peers experience the same thing. So that's why something like our supporting membership program is so huge for us, with everything going on. This week, Big Katie, she finished first place at our strongman competition in Minnesota, which qualified her for the amateur Arnold. So, Katie, we will see you in March in Columbus.
You're going to Columbus.
Yeah, baby. Just where everyone wanted to go. The East Coast. Big Daisy competed in powerlifting meet, did a 245 kilogram squat, 150 kilogram bench, 265 kilogram deadlift, all PBs. PBs because
kilos
he's Australian.
PBs, baby.
Yep. Kilos and PBs. And our last supporting member bit from this week, I'm going to try something a little unorthodox. I'm going to try and give someone a very quick call right here.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, so we'll give this a try. See if we can hear any sound here. Can you hear that ringing? It's ringing.
Hello.
Oh, Big Cody, is that you?
This is Big Cody, the birdwatcher man.
Yeah,
Big Cody, you son of a gun.
I guess they'll let anyone on here these days.
I guess so.
Big Cody competed at the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic last weekend in the strongman. We got to share the battlefield together, didn't we, Cody?
That was great. You were real strong. I thought you were going to win, and somehow you didn't even place.
Cody won. Cody got the mask. What did you do with the hockey mask? Did yours possibly break in transit?
It broke in transit. I just glued it up, and now it is hanging on my beer fridge.
Excellent.
That's a great spot for it.
Which one did you get?
It's like the brown one. It said
20
Lift Hard, Live Easy.
You got
too.
like our favorite one, I think.
That one was really
cool. It was badass.
Yeah, that one's really cool. Okay. So we are calling Big Cody this week. He is the world's strongest bird watcher. Cody, question for you this week. Could you pick your Mount Rushmore of birds?
Ooh. Well, I know what everyone wants to hear is that it's just the tits and boobies and hooters.
Not bad. Yeah.
But the real Mount Rushmore birds is we've got red-tailed hawks. They are just overall the best bird.
Okay. George Washington.
We got ravens. They're the smartest bird. They'll remember your face, so be nice. We got kookaburras.
Ooh, what is that?
A kookaburra, it's a kingfisher out of Australia. But if you ever hear a jungle sound in any movie, it's the kookaburra.
Okay.
It's like the not like Disturbed.
Oh.
And then finally, I'm gonna have to do an interesting one here. I'm gonna go with Big Bird from Sesame Street.
All right.
What kind of bird is Big Bird?
I think Big Bird is technically a canary.
Oh, that
That's
is a
one big ass canary.
Yeah. But it's got big in the name, so I figured it belongs here.
Excellent wild card choice there. Very good. Okay, looks like you passed the Mount Rushmore game. Fitting, you were just in South Dakota, so you're probably doing your homework when you're here. I assume we were only like 6 hours away from Mount Rushmore, but maybe you've got binoculars that you normally look through that you could see it from there.
It's so flat out there, I could see everything.
Yeah. Wait, okay, right off, quick pop quiz. Cody, do you know what our state bird is in South Dakota?
Your state bird is the ring-necked pheasant.
Very good. This is not a question. I'm just asking for your help here. Is that bird originally from China? Was that bird brought over?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought I read that it was originally from China. But
I mean, I think people say Chinese ringneck pheasant. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
but I know people.
That's what I always thought. People said that.
I don't know why that is.
But my next question is, I'm also looking for your help here. I can't confirm this statement, but are we the only state that allows you to shoot its state bird?
I'm not sure about that.
That'll be follow-up.
I will find out, and I'll post it on the Discord.
Okay. I thought I'd read that somewhere, too, that we're the only state that allows you to shoot its own state bird, but I could also be wrong there.
That's an interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see any pheasants when you were here?
I did not. I'll have to come back.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't. Sometimes they're even hanging around my backyard.
Yeah, I kept my eyes open. I did see some nighthawks, which are really cool.
Okay.
You could hear those out by the zoo on a Saturday night.
Oh, that was just us partying on the patio.
That's just the locals having a little fun.
We were just hooting and hollering.
They also call themselves Nighthawk too. So,
did you see the unofficial South Dakota state bird in my backyard though?
What's the unofficial state bird?
The mosquito.
Oh, yeah, I've met a lot of them.
Yes.
Yeah, real up close and personal.
Yeah. Excellent. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is this number 12?
This is number 12.
Wow. Number 12 for Big Cody on the Hall of Fame card. So that is, he is our most recent inductee into the Hall of Fame. I think this could be wrong. I think he's number 29 on the list. We'll get him added, and we will get your celebratory Hall of Fame cup in the mail to you to California.
Woohoo.
Excellent. Thanks, Big Cody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Cody.
Bye.
That was a good surprise there.
Good audible with the Big Bird. Did you like how I had the Disturbed queued up for
just ready to go?
I even hit the right button.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty proud of myself for that one. Big Bird, solid choice. Has our guest showed up yet, Tommy?
Not yet, but I'm sure he'll be here soon.
All right. Well, let me hit you with a little ad here.
All right. I'm going to start removing people.
Yeah. The Strength Co. They've got American-made iron plates. They also have barbells that are built to last. Other equipment-wise, they are now sold out of the Massenomics Lift Hard, Live Easy collars, but they do have those same lever clamp barbell collars in black that say the Strength Co. on them. So you can check that out. But back to the plates. And also Olympic bumper plates. We don't talk about the bumper plates all the time, but they do have bumper plates in 45s, 25s, and 10s, and they sell the sets there also. But my personal favorite, what they sell is the black, e-coated, smooth, easy to grip plates. They are the best. They are the best plates in the game, and that's not an exaggeration. They really are the best, and at affordable prices. They actually, when you factor in shipping, they've got their lowest prices ever on these. So check them all out at thestrength.co. Also, give their podcast a listen. That's the OK Podcast. It's okay.
And this episode is also brought to you by our good friends over at SwissLink. SwissLink, you say? What the hell is that? SwissLink is your go-to source for all things military surplus. Right now, I'm just pulling this up. They have the Czech Army Pharmacy Scale. I mean, come on. Weigh your options, it says right there. They really do have everything you could ever look for from military surplus from the armed forces around the world. We're talking clothing, camping and outdoor gears, classic Swisslink blankets, and other wool goods. They also have camouflage, bath and body, and just a whole list of other things. Really a collection that you got to see it for yourself. You got to see it to believe it. So head on over to swisslink.com, and while you're there, make sure to use code MASS, and that will save you 15% on your next purchase. Swisslink.com, code MASS, save you 15%. Thank you, Swisslink. And Tanner, our guest, has arrived. Are you ready to go?
Man, we know how to time shit, don't we?
That's good.
Yeah. So Big Trey, we're just going to jump right into it. We got all kinds of good stuff to talk to you about, so we don't want to miss any of it. We got to get it all in the recording.
All righty. Sounds good, buddy.
All right. Are you back at home in Texas at the home gym?
Yes, sir. Here at the home gym.
Oh yeah. Let's see that. God, that's huge.
Nothing but room.
Just got to fill it with a bunch of stuff now.
Yeah, when we got a lot of questions about the home gym for you actually too. But first, I want to say you did just get back from a trip. You were actually here in western northeast South Dakota.
Yep, way up there. We had a trip up there for the Massenomics lift heavy, live easy classic too.
So have you ever been to South Dakota before? Is this your first time?
Yeah, that was my first time. It was nice. A whole lot to see there.
What? Where'd you fly? Where did you fly into? Did you fly into Aberdeen or did you fly into Sioux Falls or something?
Yeah, flew into Sioux Falls and then drove up to Watertown. Stayed with Nathan and Abby for the night on Thursday, and then drove up there to Aberdeen on Friday for the weigh-ins.
Did you get to lift at in their home gym at all?
No, didn't really do that. Like I did when we got back, we did like just a little hangout, just watched a little TV on their gym TV and just stretched, did some recovery.
Yeah.
But didn't get to try their home gym.
Yeah, they've got a pretty sweet setup too.
Yeah, they got that little sauna in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Does too.
Yeah.
I was checking out a lot of their equipment too. Like that combo rack looked really sweet.
Yes. Yeah, they do. That combo rack is nice. And you didn't jump in the sauna, did you?
No, like it's too small for me.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, did you? And you made it in. You had a special spot in the program. You were the only color picture in the whole program for the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic this weekend.
Yeah, I felt so special. Like y'all spent a little, show a little color my pasty white cheeks.
Yes. So yeah, we're excited you got to make the South Dakota trip. Curious, where did you? I assume you guys went out to eat a few times while you're here. Where did you go out to eat? Did you hit up any local hot spots?
They really were adamant about me trying the Taco John's.
Yes, did you?
Okay.
Did you try Taco John's?
Got a couple of breakfast burritos.
And what's your take? What's your takeaway?
Yeah, good white people meat tacos.
Yeah,
It's like I was saying is it's not can't even go with Juan. You had to go with John.
Yeah, I mean that is like the quintessential review there. Like great white people Mexican fast food.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like tried there. Like went to the local Japanese place, and pretty good.
Yeah, that place isn't bad. What's that one called?
Tokyo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That actually is not bad. Someone else asked about that, and I said, "Hey, you might it's not too shabby for western northeast South Dakota." I'm really glad you went to Taco John's, though. I wasn't sure if you had made that stop. That's really what I wanted to know. So they were correct to send you there.
Yeah, it was Nathan and Abby. They really wanted me to try it, and just like all right. Me and another guy there, Brian, that came from Houston. So like it's like the Texas boys have to try it. Got to get their review.
Yeah, and don't you? Where you live in Texas, you're really close to the border, aren't you?
Actually,
or not?
Mexican border? No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Or is it border Louisiana? Is that where you're close to?
I should know your pin is in the map in Massenomics Gym, and I just can't even actually remember.
Yeah. So if you want to go to Mexico, it's about an 8-hour drive for me.
Oh, so are you really close to the Gulf then?
Yeah, like a 30 minutes by the
Okay.
how the bird flies.
Yeah, I just have to understand my geography, how far east how far east Central America actually comes out. So yeah, you'd have to go west quite a ways to get to Mexico, I suppose.
Yeah, west southwest.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's right. You're close to Louisiana. So here's my question for you. A lot of people talked about, I think you were at my house on Friday night, and we had sprayed quite a bit, so they weren't too bad. You might not have noticed any, but when you're around South Dakota at all, did you notice much for mosquitoes? What was your mosquito takeaway while you were here?
Like after the competition, we got to the hotel. They were trying to get you, when you were walking into the hotel, but it wasn't as bad. Like earlier this year, like they were, killer at my house. So like I'm, like 2 or 3 doesn't really bother me as much as, like walking out of the house with shorts on and you just slap your leg and it just, like you get 5 of them on your hands.
Yeah. Cause they're bad where you're from, right?
Yeah. Like it's just a lot of standing water where I'm at, like kind of swampy. So they're really bad, especially this year, but they can be really bad. One time when me and my dad were in the backwoods sighting our guns for hunting season, like we just were getting eaten live, even spraying bug spray on ourselves, like they'll still like land on you and just bother you.
Yeah.
But
so you're overall not that bad in South Dakota then?
No. Well,
yeah.
Everyone was more complaining about the heat over there in South Dakota.
That probably doesn't bother you though either.
What was your take on the heat and humidity or lack thereof?
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all. What was it? 88 degrees was the high.
Yeah.
And no, like I get back home and it's just like I'm dying in the heat. It's like, oh, I was kind of enjoying South Dakota.
Nice, a little break from the heat.
Yeah. So you didn't feel the urge at all. I think I asked you this there, but to hop in maybe and do a log press or 2 during the competition or anything like that.
No, I didn't really want to show up the guys. They were enjoying it. Didn't want to dehumanize it, whatever.
Right. Yeah, you could have came in. Yeah, we could have brought in a 500-pound stone and had you do that or something.
Yeah, I definitely could have gave that a shot. I would have enjoyed it. What do you got a new stone right at the Massenomics you showed me when I was there?
We do have that one that weighs 454 pounds, and I had mentioned nobody had lifted that yet before. So
yeah. Maybe next time I go up there, I'll give it deep version.
It might have to wait until you're here again.
Gotta save something for the next trip.
Yeah. That one I was not going to carry up the stairs to bring that to the competition. That one is going to stay in the gym forever.
Yeah, just leave it. Like if you ever move, you're just going to have to leave it there.
I'm serious. That is or like break it apart with a sledgehammer and carry it out in pieces, because I will not carry that back up the stairs.
No, leave it for the next attendance.
Yes. They'll find a use for it.
It's big rock.
Yeah. Next event you've got coming up is the Shaw Classic, right? Strongest man on earth, I guess, whatever strongest man on earth you've got coming up.
Yeah, it's strongest man on earth. August 17th. So yeah, that's going to be my next one in 3 weeks. Yeah.
So only 3 weeks left. I saw you just, speaking of Atlas stones, just did, it looked like a 506-pound Atlas stone for a triple. Is that what that was?
Yeah, so after I left South Dakota, I made my way down to Missouri to train with my coach, Chad Coy. And so we were training at a gym in St. Louis that had a 506-pound stone. And that was the biggest one they had. So yeah. I did, 3x3 was 506, which I'm pretty excited about. I got a 550 stone here at my gym that I'm hoping I'll do before the Shaw Classic.
So you'll probably be doing that pretty soon. If it were 3 weeks out, you'll probably do that within the next week or 10 days or something, I suppose, something like that.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
See what the coach says.
So event-wise, I know what we're talking about here. One of the events is Max Stone. What events are you looking forward to most this year at the Shaw Classic? Because he has done some really cool stuff before.
Yeah, like Brian, he likes to do some crazy events. Like last couple of years, he did a car leg press, and just that's scary to get underneath a giant car. But so this year, like definitely looking forward to the Max Atlas stones. So the biggest stone he has is 600. See if I can get maybe 2 reps with that, 2 or 3, as many as I need.
That'd be awesome.
He has a max keg toss too for the max height over bar, and I haven't done that since 2021. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do on that event. So,
yeah, that one will be cool. So what is there? Is there a squat or something then too?
Yeah, this year we're doing a squat event. Instead of the leg press, he's brought in a squat apparatus. He hasn't released what it's actually going to be, like exactly. It's like kind of similar to a Smith machine, where it's just like it's fixed path, and you just go up and down, just pure leg power.
Yeah, so maybe it could be something like at World's Strongest Man, what they've done before, where it's like kegs loaded into a like each rep it's heavier on a keg squat or something like that along those lines, maybe.
Yeah, it's similar to that, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like I know he's since posted some pictures of like some whiskey barrels, which that'd be pretty cool. That might be doing.
Then he's implementing some. He's got a tractor. That must be a tractor, arm over arm tractor pull, right?
Yeah. So that event is called the Power Medley. So he's got some hay baler that he's turned into a wheelbarrow. So he's got some handles that you pick up and you push that, and then you run into get the arm over arm pull. That's a rope attached to a big tractor combine, and that's what we just pull it as hard as we can. So that event. He always has that event, but it's like changed like every year, either a frame or a wheelbarrow and into arm over arm pull. It's just something, a little standard event he likes to do, but like give it a little flair, something new every year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It's he does a good job of putting on a cool show. I assume competing is pretty damn fun at that show too.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the highlights of the year as competition wise. He always treats us like pro athletes pretty much. Like we're used to treated like, second hand or whatever. But like, it's like, hey, you're the star of the show. But like, it's not super fast like other competitions like the Giants Lives, but like you get enough time to rest in between events and then warm up for him, because he'll throw in like other events in between our events for like the open athletes, or like he's done arm wrestling too, in between to help us give us time and keep the crowd entertained.
Yeah, what would be your next competition then after Strongest Man on Earth?
I got the Giants Live North American competition, the deadlift championships in Las Vegas in September 28th.
Okay.
Yeah. After that one, I'll do Giants Live Glasgow in Scotland.
Okay, cool. Have you ever been there before?
No, Scotland is definitely on the bucket list.
Cool.
Yeah, I always wanted to go, like, just see the sights and everything, and meet the people.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be very cool, because that's an arena show then in Scotland then too, right?
Giants Lives, they do arena shows, so they'll pull out a big arena and like fill it with 30,000 people or so over in the UK. They're hoping to pull the same thing here in the States. They've done that. They've done Giants Lives a couple of times, like a few years before the pandemic, but like it was always outside, so the crowd wasn't super big. So hopefully, having it in Las Vegas, the big shows are be able to bring in a big crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what the venue or where they're having it at in Vegas?
Orleans, I believe so.
Okay. I mean, is that somewhere on the Strip or like?
right off the strip.
Okay.
I've seen. I'm pretty sure it's the Orleans. Like it's based off of New Orleans.
Okay, cool.
So do you think will you do any gambling when you're there?
No, no, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Like I gamble playing the sport of strongman.
Yeah, that's a good enough gamble. We do have a lot of little gas station casinos in South Dakota, and a lot of people mentioned that. So you didn't hit any of those up when you were here either, then I suppose.
No, I didn't. Like though, Abby and Nathan, they took me to their bar, the 19th hole, and they did a little bit of gambling at their slot machines. It's just like, all right, put $20 in, not getting any money back. It's like,
yeah, there's just something about watching your money disappear like that that's not very rewarding. What percent recovered are you then? I think it was was it Rogue last year where you got injured?
The Rogue Invitational last year, I tore my Achilles. So I'd say like 85% back. Like it'll get tight and like it's not as strong as it is, but it's like I know it's not going anywhere. Like at World Strongest Man this year, I did 1,000-pound 1,000-pound car walk, and it's like it was perfectly fine afterwards. So it's just
right,
achy every once in a while. Need to keep up on the recovery stuff.
Yeah. That stuff kind of sucks sometimes, though. It's annoying to do that stuff. You just want to train hard.
Yeah, train hard. Have to deal with recovery, which, coming back from Missouri, just like got home late and just like barely recovered. Tried training this morning and just like, everything hurts. And just wish I could just lift heavy again.
Yeah. So how about the home gym? You're sitting in it right now. And I know I asked you when you're here, you're basically, because you had been going to other gyms sometimes, but you're basically training out of the home gym all the time as long as you're at home now, right?
Yeah, like now I'm here 100%. Like I talked a little bit with my coach, like about the Shaw Classic squat. As Brian said, it's like a Smith machine. We talked a little bit about maybe going to a commercial gym to use their Smith machine, but we decided not to. Just try and get stronger on the squat. But just dealing with the normal people and like the bad environment of like commercial gyms just does not do me well.
When you go, like if you would go to those commercial gyms, like do you run into a lot of people that know who you are and that you're like one of the top World's Strongest Man competitors, or do most people just not have a clue?
I would say most people don't know who I am.
Yeah.
I prefer, but every once in a while I run into people like that know me. It's like, oh, Trey Mitchell. It's like you do strongman. Like last year when I first went to that commercial gym, it was right after like I shaved my beard, so I was like baby faced. Mm-hmm. This guy like, are you Trey Mitchell? And it's like, no, like Trey has a beard. It's like, oh, sorry. It's like, no, I am Trey.
Yeah. It was funny when you were here. You lifted a couple days in Massenomics gym. The one day you were doing some circus dumbbell press, but one of the regular guys walked in. He's a strongman fan, and I don't think I had told him yet that you were coming, and he was just coming to lift that day because he wasn't competing that weekend. And he walked in and went to send a phone by the radio, and he goes, "Holy fuck, that's Trey Mitchell." Yeah, it is. Go talk to him. He's cool. But it was just funny here seeing it. And, he's like, wow, this is great. This is going to be a good day.
Yeah. It was cool to meet most of the guys. They came up, talked to me a little bit here and there. Yeah.
Anyone getting any secret pointers from you?
Yeah. Right. I don't think they were too shy to ask about, any pointers from here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't mind giving advice here and there.
Yeah. So your home gym looks absolutely enormous, though. Do you know what the square feet is?
Yeah, it's 3,500.
Yeah. And it's a really tall. It's a tall building too, right? Like,
yeah, 16-foot walls. I don't know how high the peak is. I'm thinking like 19, 20 feet at the peak. Like I got the 16-foot walls so I could do like a sandbag toss inside when it's rainy and bad weather outside.
Right. So how full is it now? It looks like you still got a lot of extra space.
Yeah, still definitely got to fill in a lot more stuff. Got 2 squat racks. Got this cable machine, like a Nordic leg curl bench. Let's see. Don't know if you can see it. I got a Rogue donkey.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Well, just give you a little tour, I guess.
Yeah, let's check
Here
it
we
out.
go.
Let's check it out. Yeah. So there's the Nordic curl thing.
Yeah. It was good for hamstrings. Yeah. Got
the big Rogue rack, 6
big
post
Rogue
rack.
Yeah. Smaller one. Like this was the first one. I got this one off of Facebook Marketplace. I know we talked a lot about that when I was up there with y'all guys.
Yeah. I like it when you go to buy it too. The guy doesn't know who you are either. You know.
Yeah, that happens a lot. So, so got the Rogue donkey.
Okay. Yep.
That's
a beast of a leg press. I just saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, power lift. Like I've been told, it's like the best leg press in the world, and it's just like, damn, I got it for 3,000 off of Facebook Marketplace. It's brand new. I think it's like 10,000.
And the platform,
enormous.
Yeah, the platform, the left and right side, they move independently if you want to, right? It's
definitely do.
Yeah, that thing is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't like I've used the Elite FTS bilateral leg press, and if you have it like separate legs without the bar in there, like once you get like 700-800 pounds on it, it'll start flexing and make it harder. But this one, like I've had 900 pounds on it and it doesn't move.
Did you pick that up in one piece, or did that disassemble very much when you got it?
No, we definitely had to disassemble it, mainly because the guy, he put it in like his basement.
Whoa!
And it did not have a garage door.
Yeah.
So we had to disassemble it just to get it out of the door.
Yeah.
So luckily, me and another strongman friend helped take it apart and move it, because it weighs like 1,100 pounds empty.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And he said to get it in his basement, he just had like 2 like little teenage boys just to help him, put it in there.
That's impressive. What do you got? Power stairs over there that you built, I'm guessing?
Yeah, some power stairs I got from Sticks and Stones out of Houston. David, he makes some pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
If you want something made out of wood or concrete. That's a power stair implement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So is there power stairs at the Shaw Classic? There must be then. You were talking about training power stairs, and you've got it there.
Yeah, we got a medley where we do fingered fingers, this thing.
Oh, damn.
This big hole. And we go into the power stairs, and the heavy.
Okay.
We got 2 implements of the power stairs, and the heavy one is 600 pounds.
So on the finger, to load the finger, do you just throw chains and stuff in there? Is that what people do, or how do you change that?
It definitely depends. When I went to train with Brian, he has long, galvanized pipe, and he just shoves it in there and puts a basketball in the end to keep it from shooting out when you flip it.
Yeah.
But this one is plate loaded. Yeah.
Oh, God, fancy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you can put plates in there.
Not a lot of gyms that have a finger inside of it.
No. I've seen just some hardcore strongman gyms do that.
Yeah. Did you had your stones over there then too? I take it.
Yeah. Got my Atlas stones.
Up to a 550.
Yeah, this one's the 550 right here. There you go. 550. Here's my very first Atlas stone. Can you see?
Is it round or not?
Kind of puck shaped.
That looks more like the Rogue ones at where the not really Atlas stones that you've done before there.
Yeah, those granite ones.
Right.
Yeah. That was me and my dad. We just got a bow shoe ball, and we cut a hole in it and put it in a hole.
Yeah.
We just poured concrete through the hole.
How much does that weigh?
275.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you probably quickly realized you're going to need something a little bigger than that.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't pick we made it when I was 18. So
okay.
Yeah.
So it actually was. Yeah. Right.
it
So you
was
actually could use it.
I couldn't pick it up at first. So
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, it's too heavy. We need to make a smaller one. And it's like, just do what you can until you can pick it up. And it's all right.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right. So yeah, just got stronger with that one. And then once I, knew I could pick up a really heavy one, like we made a bigger one. Like I bought an actual mold from Steve Slater, and this one. You can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my second one, and was a 385, and I had that for all of my amateur career.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got? Yokes and stuff back, or Rogue Echo bike or something too?
Yeah, I got the Concept rower, Echo bike, and the Concept ski erg.
Yep. Cardio corner.
Yeah. Do you use the cardio corner very often?
Yeah, I get a little warm up on the Echo bike before I start my weightlifting.
Yep.
Like I tried to, when I was up there, I tried to use your free runner machine. Like
Yeah.
It was so janky. Like I was trying to take a step and just threw me off.
Yeah, there's a level of skill to it.
It takes some getting used to for sure. Like also the track's not very wide.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Like being a bigger dude.
Yes, yeah, that would be the biggest thing for you. I think is the width of the. You have to keep your if you even just get a step off a little bit, it's easy to get off that track.
Yeah, I try to find the sweet spot, but once I get I'm not moving, I'm not jerking everywhere, but it wanted to make me sprint. I don't want to sprint. I just wanted just for a little walk, but just
yeah, I know that
curve.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like you get where you're you can't make it move. It's like wanting to not even go at all, and then you get going, and it's you can't stop going faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, I just want a steady walk. I just want a nice, relaxing, warm up walk. Just
yes.
Yeah, but it's nice. Got the 2 yokes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This was my first one. Just a Rogue yoke. You see all the nasty athletic tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's seen some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I recently just got this one. A friend of mine that he retired, he's started downsizing his gym, his strongman equipment. So I bought this one, Texas Power Concept.
Okay, yeah, that they made our South Dakota Shield that we had there was made by Texas Power Concept.
Yeah. I know the guy. I've competed with him when he was doing strongman for a lot of years. Really cool dude. He also made these. These are farmers handles.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, you remember the old strongman?
Yeah.
Yep.
IFSA style. IFSA.
Yep.
Yeah. So I got him to make me these.
So what do those weigh empty?
200 each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they look big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very heavy duty. So yeah, can't break them.
Yeah. So we were talking about the heat. So do you have that climate controlled, or is it what's it like there?
Yeah, this is my climate control right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So does that help a little bit in there though? Does that help a little bit? He's pointing to, he's got a little something vented out a window there and then a fan in front of it.
Yeah. It's just a little AC unit with a shop fan. It helps if you're sitting in front of it,
right?
Not anywhere else.
Right.
But yeah, it's more of a placebo effect,
Yeah.
Oh, I got the fan going, so it's not as hot.
Yes. Yeah.
And then on the side over there, do you have stall mats for the flooring, or what actually is your flooring over there?
Yeah, it's just stall mats.
Okay.
I went it's a little cheaper, a little thicker, help protect the floor.
Yep.
What was that red machine by your circus dumbbell back there?
It's called the Power Runner. It's called Power.
Oh, Brian has one of those, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Like last year when I went to train with him, like I saw a guy selling him one on Facebook Marketplace, and I like asked him about what he thought about the machine, and he said like it's really good. Like if you're training for truck pulls, like really good for producing that power off the floor and like some conditioning for your quads. So like it was originally designed for like help produce power for sprinters. So you load up the weight and you just get in it, just drive your legs, like do it for a couple of reps are like a timed like a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
And so earlier this year I saw someone selling one, and I like hopped on it before someone bought it up.
Yeah, there can't be a ton of those out there.
No.
So like last year saw this one sold. Went and trained at a gym in Houston, and they were selling theirs. And it's just like, all right,
Actually,
it'll just pop up. Like,
yeah, we were talking about this. We were saying how like the Facebook Marketplace finds down there are just. I mean, it's just you guys have everything.
Yeah, you can just find pretty much anything, whatever. Like, like since the beginning of this year, I saw like 5 or 6 Rogue Rhinos on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Last week, I saw someone selling a Rogue Rhino with a rack attached to it.
Yeah.
The one, rack mounted one with jammer arms. So I saw that, like saved it, and just like, all right, it's a bit of a drive. Maybe
What's the farthest you've traveled so far to pick something up?
Well, like, I didn't travel, but like I had a friend of mine in San Antonio pick me up these plates, these Elikio calibrated plates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of them too. Wow.
Yeah. Jim in San Antonio was selling these $100 a plate, 30. So I got 30 plates.
That's a lot of. Are those 20 kilogram plates or?
Yeah, 20 kilo.
Yeah, that is a lot of 20 kilo plates that they had there that they were getting rid of. Yeah. That is a shitload. Yeah. What else you got? Is there anything we hadn't looked at yet there?
I don't think this is Bartos log.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. This is, I think, a one of a kind. It was the Boss log that's supposed to be 230 pounds empty, and it's actually 327 pounds.
Just a good starting weight.
Jesus.
Good warm up weight. Like I get the shipment, and like I see a note in the handle well, and it said like, sorry, we didn't weigh this until shipping, and it was actually turned out heavier than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit heavier. Yeah. Holy shit.
And it's just like, all right, but like, it works.
So if you're training log, you're gonna use that log. Do you have a different log that you'll do anything, or do you just warm up your shoulders otherwise, and then like that's your first log press of the day?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got a log that I made in shop class, like right here. Huh. Yeah, I made this one.
Oh, nice.
When I was in high school in shop class, we had just a big length of pipe, and everybody was cutting off a little section, like 1 or 2 foot, to make tailgate grills. And it's just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm the strongman. I'll make a strongman log. And we had the barbells in the.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. We had barbells in our storage closet, and it's just like, hey, teacher, can I have one of those? And it's like, yeah, sure. And made it. And I had this one up until 2019, I believe. It was 2019. That's when I bought the Bartos log.
Yeah.
It looks good for a homemade one, especially in high school.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little janky. I mean, it holds, but
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think it'll
good.
pass any inspection.
No welding inspection tests. Yeah.
This section right here, this good welding. Like a friend of my dad, he's a welding instructor for the local tech school, and like the weld broke, I did, and so he repaired it. Like he also made that power steer implement for me. Yeah, he just had a bunch of scrap metal, and he just filled that thing up, and it just came out 560 pounds. That power steer implement I showed you earlier.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that thing weighs. Jesus. Yeah. What about you talked about? We talked to you about your dumbbells that you're getting. Explain to people what your dumbbell set that you got coming at some point, and also where's that going to go?
Yeah, like so I'm getting some intake strength custom dumbbells. They're based out of St. Louis, I believe. Yeah, so they're 10 to 300 pound dumbbell sets and 10-pound increments. Yeah, so the custom
up to 300 pound. So you'll have a set of 300 pound dumbbells.
Yes.
And and a set of 290 and a set of 280 and a set of 270 all the way down. Yeah.
Yeah, all the way down to 10. Yeah.
It's a lot of dumbbells.
Yes.
Yeah, only 30 pairs. It's only 30 pairs.
Yeah, but the total weight on those would be crazy. So do you know where you're going to put those then when you?
Yeah, I'm gonna put them along this wall.
Okay.
Yeah. Like he called me up and was like, "How much space do you have for the dumbbells?" And it's just like, "Where are you gonna put them?" And it's like, about 38 feet. And it's like, "Well, it's probably gonna take 38 feet to fit them all." Because they're so heavy. Like he had to make his own custom racks for them. Like he couldn't find anybody to, that makes some to hold them.
Right.
Hold all the dumbbells.
Yeah, those 300s are going to look massive, and a lot of those actually, like all the ones over 200, that full set, those biggest 10 pairs or so are going to be enormous.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Like eventually, maybe he says like they're strong enough that I can overhead press them and drop them, and that won't break. But like I don't know if maybe one day I'll be able to bench press.
Right.
A goal in life.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So what's on your wish list now? So you've got a lot of stuff in there, but you still do have room. So like what would be what would you be looking for to pop up on Facebook Marketplace that you would love to add to it, or what would be on the hit list?
Definitely want to get a belt squat. Like I like the Rogue Rhino because it's more compact.
Yep.
But like maybe something else like a cable. Like I've tried the Pit Shark, and I just don't like how it just angles down. I like how a cable goes straight up and down. Like the hammer strength mid row. Like I would love to have one of those. I've seen a couple of them pop up, and it just never pulled the trigger before they get balled up right then.
Yeah, all the hammer strength row back machines are sweet. We have the ISO low row or whatever that's called, and that gets used all the time.
Yeah, that one, and like the lat pull down was the Z shape to handle.
Yep.
I would definitely like those two.
Yeah.
Let's see. For a pressing one, I really like the Rogers pendulum, the Rogers Athletics machines. Like Brian has like all of their stuff.
Okay. Are they plate loaded then, or?
Yeah, plate loaded. Like you can't go like I haven't seen much selectorized that go super heavy.
Right.
There is after I bought that leg press, the power lift, they have a lot of good selectorized machines, and they have a leg extension leg curl that instead of like a seated leg curl, you can turn the pad to where it turns into a prone leg curl. And their selectorized goes up to 300 pounds, and it's just like that would be sweet.
Yeah. The gym's looking pretty sweet. So do you let people come train with you? Do you have many people that come in and train very often with you?
No one really has any training partners. Like I have I talked to one guy that he's another client of my coach Chad Coy, and like he's coming down this weekend to try out the Conan's wheel that I have.
Okay.
But yeah, don't really have that many training partners, in my area.
Yeah. So do you live in like where you're at? Are you inside a town, or are you in the country, or where are you at there?
Yeah, I'm on the town, like right outside the limits.
Okay. I like it when we were here, we had another guy, Big Dylan, that was here this weekend too. His pin on the map is almost right next to your pin on the map. And he said he was talking to you and asked you where you're from, and you must have said the name of a big, the bigger town, I don't know, whatever it is. And he goes, "No, where you're really from?" Like what's the, because you probably usually assume people don't know. So you name off the bigger town, and he actually is right from there too. So he actually does know.
Yeah. Yeah. He came up and talked to me, and just like, it was like, "Where are you from?" And it's like, "Oh, the big town." And he's like, "No, you're not. You're from so-and-so." And it's like, okay, I know because I'm from that town.
Right.
Yeah. You got to go to South Dakota to meet people from your hometown, basically.
Yeah. It's just like, where do you train, this and that? And it's like, "Oh, I train in my garage." I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's got a good setup too. Big Trey, we got a little overrated, underrated for you. I don't know if you remember. It's probably been like 3 years since Trey's been on, hasn't it, Tommy? It's been
actually
a long time.
That's a good question. It might be close to that.
Yeah, it's been forever. 3 years. Was it in 21?
I'm looking. Yeah, August 15th, 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah, almost 3 years
Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
It has been a while then, hasn't it? Okay. So you might not even remember. So we got overrated, underrated, we got a big Trey set of topics here handpicked for you. You can say whatever you want about them, but you just can't ride the line. You've got to really decide on each one if they're overrated or underrated.
All right.
So also when you were at the Arnold at our booth this year, you didn't lose one of those red Rogue record breaker shirts, did you?
I might have just left it because, if I did,
because I have one, and
Tanner's
I don't know
not
who's
a road record breaker.
No, and I don't know whose it was, but I've been wearing it, so I'll keep it warm for you if it is yours.
I don't know. Like, I got so many T-shirts, and I'll just leave them around. Like at World Strongest Man this year, like I just kept two, like the qualifier and the heat, the qualifier and the finals T-shirts, and gave the rest to the fans.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so overrated, underrated. First one, overrated or underrated, Big Thicket National Preserve in Texas.
No, it's not. It's underrated. It's a national preserve in our state, so of course it's one of the best in the, like, there's fauna there that only grows in that area. So like there's people from all over the country come and study it. So like more people needs to know about the Big Thicket Preserve.
So what is the Big Thicket like? Is it like swamps or what? I don't actually even know what should be picturing when you're there.
Yeah, it's more swampy area. Yeah, that's what. Basically what our area is more swampy and like lowlands, but like we do have, like, we're kind of mixed. Like the Big Thicket is kind of a mix between the swampy and like the piney woods.
Okay.
A lot of thicket is like just thick woods, so that's what the Big Thicket.
Yeah,
okay.
You described this, or you told us a little bit about it before. For some reason in my mind, I was not expecting swamp at all. And I'm looking at some of the pictures here. This surprises me. So when I see like water like this and swamp, like my brain starts thinking Florida. Like, do you guys have gators at all? Do they exist over there?
Yeah, we'll get the alligators too.
Really?
Yeah. We got, alligators, a lot of mosquitoes is our national, our state bird.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
okay.
Interesting.
So underrated. All right. Next time we're there, we got to see the Big Thicket National Preserve, Tommy.
I know.
First time we're there.
Put it on the list.
Yeah.
the rock. What?
Yeah. Okay. Next one, overrated or underrated, throwing events in strongman.
You gotta be. Let's see. Keg toss throwing is I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty popular, so I can't say it. It's not overrated. See, like I like throwing events.
Right. You're good at throwing them. For people who don't know.
For strongman. Trying to like go overrated, like it's like it's not that great. Underrated is like, oh, more people need to know about it. Like definitely like 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? We had a stone toss. That's definitely overrated.
That was not a cool one.
No.
That was not a cool event.
No. I only know one guy that really likes it. My buddy Thomas Evans, and he's like, "Oh, we need to bring that event back." And, it's like,
And everyone else is like, "No, let's not." Yeah. So what are you thinking though on throwing events in general?
Let's see. Let's go with underrated, because you definitely like strongman, where we got to be more explosive than like other strength athletes. So you got to be able to move around. Like strongman is strength athletics, so you got to be strong and athletic.
Yep.
So it's definitely underrated. It needs to be in more competitions.
Okay, that's good. Overrated or underrated? Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, you had this on my last show, I remember.
Oh, we did?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're repeating it, but I guess we thought the same thing back then.
Okay. So I'm gonna say the same thing. Like it's overrated. You get like the food portions are too small. Like you got to have bigger portions for me to think it's better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, it's probably
specifics are good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's probably because since that time, Tanner and I at that point in time had never had Texas Roadhouse, and we've had it now, so we got new perspective on it. Is probably why it came up again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do y'all think?
I mean,
where did we have that at?
On the way to the Arnold, we stopped at one.
Okay, this year. Yeah. I was really hungry that day, and it did hit the spot. I know that.
Yeah, and for us, I mean, as far as fast casual places go, like compared to an Applebee's or a Chili's, I thought Texas Roadhouse was way better than both of those.
Oh, it's definitely better than those ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miles ahead of those guys.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, good food, just like the portions are too small. Like I usually get the steak tips either over rice or with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one here. Most important one. It's worth all the marbles. So, overrated or underrated? Futurama.
Underrated. More people need to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is this coming up?
We just heard you might be a Futurama guy.
I might have watched quite a bit of episodes.
I haven't seen very much Futurama. I mean, I know about it, and I kind of know some of the characters, and I've definitely seen some episodes, but I haven't seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of. I mean, there's a lot of people that love it. I've maybe seen just a handful of episodes in my life, is all though.
I don't know. Like they always had the marathons on.
Oh yeah, always on TV. Yes, there was a while you couldn't miss them, but I just never caught them.
Yeah.
So, do you like it over the other, like adult cartoons where it's like, I'd say maybe like Family Guy and I don't know, what are the other, Simpsons,
or even South Park or
right,
American Dad or whatever else fits in there.
I think I would say so. It's like is it the jokes are like more like smarter, like you would say, like
right.
you got to actually like know some stuff to catch the jokes.
Right.
Like I actually seen like the writers were like doctors and stuff of physics and mathematics.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to watch more Futurama.
The science to catch some of the jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
How about I've never really watched this one. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty? I know a lot of people like that too.
I never really got into it. Like the voice is just like, you know, Rick is always burping and just like Morty is just like a whiny little, you know, just like
It's kind of like they're always screaming, is what it sounds like to me.
Like they're always screaming. It's just like, shut up! You don't have to scream the entire time.
Okay, so Futurama underrated. I got to put it on my watch list and check it out again. And it's been a while since I've seen it. So
yeah, they have some really good episodes, especially Amazonia.
Is that where we should start?
Maybe like there might be some references that you would need to watch some earlier shows. I don't know. They're mostly self-contained.
Okay, that's good to know.
But yeah, that might be, you know, what you might be thinking why I like it so much.
Yeah. Okay. Good news. It looks like you passed overrated, underrated. So congratulations. That's two-time strongest man on earth champion and now two-time overrated, underrated champion.
Nice. I'll put that on my resume.
There you go.
Do we need to send? Oh, actually, I got it right here. Do we need to send you a framed copy of this?
Oh, yeah. I'll put that up in the gym somewhere.
Yeah.
Get a shadow box for it.
Yes. Now you're talking. Awesome. Well, Big Trey, we appreciate you coming on. This was fun. Getting to catch up. We'll be cheering for you for Strongest Man on Earth here in just a few weeks. I suppose it won't be that long until you're making the trip up there again. So, like I said, we'll be cheering you on. We hope to see you do well this year.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
What I want to see you beat those guys in the heaviest stone too. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. That'll be the best part.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot, Trey.
Yeah, thanks for making the trip up here too.
Yep,
good to see you. It was good to see you and hang out.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, definitely enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, good luck. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, see ya.
Cool beans. Cool beans.
Big Trey.
Yeah.
Big
It's
thicket.
been 1
Cool.
week since you looked at me.
Not sure if that works there, but we'll go with it. It doesn't.
wanted to do it
I should
again.
say I'm not
It's
sure if
new.
it works there, but it doesn't not work there. So.
Does that ever not work? Does that ever
I think the
completely
bare
not
naked
work?
ladies are pretty universal. They kind of
I
span
think that's-
time and genres.
Yeah, I actually think that you are 100% correct on that. Let's see. What was bags again? What did we talked about it? But now I already.
Sandbags.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Okay, that bags kept throwing. I just kept picturing something completely not sandbag
Well,
related.
it is
on that.
sort of a dumb word in our.
That's right.
Here.
I will read an ad, which will transition or here. I'm going to say something, and it's also going to be the ad here. So I want to talk about Juggernaut AI. You can check it out at juggernautai.app. You have to sign up on the website. That's where you can use discount code Massenomics. It saves you 10% for the lifetime of that membership at juggernautai.app. So don't sign up through the app on your phone. Sign up through the website. And Tommy said he just started his bridge block after competing in the powerlifting meet last weekend. Now he's on a bridge block here. I, too, am back on Juggernaut AI and started a bridge block. I have 2 days done of my first week.
Let's talk more about that. Let's get these ads done and talk more about this.
Right. So
I'm curious.
check out Juggernaut AI, and that's where you sign up using our discount code. And we're going to talk more about Juggernaut AI
start
here
like
in a
this.
little bit.
Did you just do a meet? Are you lost with your training? Are you looking for the next thing to do? Juggernaut AI is for you.
That's right. Absolutely.
Do you think you're just going to go right into peaking again? No, don't do that. Now's the time to change it up and build that foundation.
Yes.
And those might sound like a dumb, catchy commercial, but Juggernaut has
also true there. Yeah, it's actually also true, isn't it?
It's oh so true. All right, this episode is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. Our friends over at www.barefoot.store have the best dang barefoot shoes on the market today. Tanner and I are recent recipients of a brand spanking new pair of Ursus low top, all black canvas shoes with the gum sole. Man, those puppies are awesome, Tanner. You still wearing yours all the time?
Yes. Wore them again today. Wear them every day.
I love those shoes. They are my new favorite barefoot shoes. Like, really thought they couldn't beat anything they've done before, and this might be the best.
Then they go and completely redeem themselves.
They are. They're amazing. So if you're interested in what they have for options, they got the Ursus high top. They got the Ursus low top. They have the Oso slip-on. They also have the Bruin boot, in case you're a boot person, needs something maybe a little more formal or to tackle the elements. Depending on where you live, that could be a great choice as well. If you head on over to barefoot.store and use code Massenomics, you can save 10% on your next order. That's barefoot.store. Code Massenomics will save you 10%. Thank you, Barefoot Shoes. Also, Barefoot supporters of the meet and supporters of Big Trey, who, if you were listening to this podcast, he was just on moments ago.
Barefoot and
Build
Fast Formula, both. Yeah, good stuff. Oh, yeah, so Juggernaut AI, you said you started your bridge block?
I started mine, and boy, okay, so for people that don't know, so we're going to talk Juggernaut here for a moment. After you're done with your meet in Juggernaut, you put in your numbers, you do all that stuff. It kind of asks you how you thought your training block went, at least in my case, because I just got done with a meet. So
right,
you enter your meet results, how you thought it went, how you thought the program went, it asks you some questions, and then it asks you, what do you want to do next? And the bridge block is their option. I mean, I'm assuming the name comes from, it's like it bridges between two different training blocks. Right. So instead of, by default, Juggernaut has a hypertrophy block that then builds into a strength block that then builds into a peaking block. And when I should say phase, because there's blocks that go on and on for each of those. But if you want to mix it up a little, you can throw a bridge block in the middle there. And so I set up a 6-week bridge block. And I had my first workout. Bridge blocks are more focused on being athletic and just general fitness. And I did my first bridge block workout yesterday, and oh my God, that thing kicked my ass so hard. I have not sweat like that for my workout. I was very hot and sweaty at the meet for squats, but as far as just putting in the work, man, I wasn't breathing that hard, but my heart rate was up. It was a battle. How about you, Tanner?
Yeah, so I've done 2 days. I'm on a 4-day per week training split. And the first day was tough. It was an SBD sort of.
Yes, that's what I had,
variations for all of them. And then a carry at the end of it. Mm-hmm. And I really am trying to stick to the timer. That's the thing about the bridge block too. It's all timed sets. Yes. And I'm sticking really close to the timer. And I got that full workout done in an hour. That's with, it's actually said an hour and 5 minutes when I got done. And I was soaked.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, that's what I'm enjoying about it though, I guess I would say, is it just is completely different. Mm-hmm. That timer is fast.
Oh my God. So for example, and I'm not sure what yours was, but my day started with pause squats. So it was 25 reps or 26 total reps? But it was on a 90-second timer, and it's up to you I think it says 3 to 6 reps per set is what it recommends. And I just took it at the maximum. I did, 6 reps per set. And on a 90-second timer, did you get done with the first one? Like, oh, I'm feeling good. Second one, you're like, oh yeah, this is a workout. And just like those last couple, you're like, oh baby, this is getting way harder than it should be.
Yeah. It gets it with those short rests. It does get increasingly hard, and I don't know. You could approach it different ways, but I do try on the timer. A lot of times, I try to be doing my next set because you could game it too, where you're like, okay, it says to go. Now I'll go start to get ready.
I've done it. Yes, I've done it both ways. Because it gives you like a 30-second warning, a 10-second warning, and a start now. And I've done it.
10-second warning. I'm usually like, okay, I need to be starting to get ready to.
And that's how I approach. Yeah, that's how I approach it too. Is like the 10-second warning is when I'm actually approaching the barbell and getting ready. So start your next set is like I'm usually starting the lift within a few seconds. Yeah. By the end, I was finally waiting until all right, begin your next set now. I'm like, now I will walk to the barbell because I am tired.
Day 2, which I did yesterday, is a lot of exercises in one day, a lot more exercises in one day than I'm normally used to. So I do some supersetting at the end of that. Mm-hmm. And I also pick at the end of that, I pick easy exercises because I am just doing like, at that point I'm doing dumbbell lat raises, tricep push downs. Mm-hmm. And like, I am picking the easy things because I'm like, no, that's enough. I can put more work in, but it needs to be easy at this point. Otherwise it's just too much for me.
Right. Because we are talking like you're on like 8 or 9 exercises. Like it's a lot.
And it's not very many sets of any of that stuff.
No, but it's just a lot to do, especially when you haven't been training that way. Like that's the other thing is, I'm coming off of a peak where I'm doing sets of 1 and 2 and 3. And I've been doing that for the last month because it's a peak. And now to jump into this, it's just,
you get a lot of work done in a pretty short. I still finished that. It was longer than my first week. So first day, it might have been like an hour 20 or something like that on my day 2 of that. Which, it's an hour and 20 of pretty hard.
There's not much time sitting around. That's for sure. No. Yeah. By the end, I was starting to get. I only had like one set of curls, not one set. I had 3 sets of curls at the end. And by the time I was done with those, I was actually putting the weights away. It felt like my biceps were starting to cramp, which I've never had that feeling before. I was depleted. I had nothing left. I was feeling it.
One other note I would make on it is, this is just, it's meaningless, but maybe for interesting discussion, is when you lift for the week, you think of it in weeks generally, most people do. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. There's ways to think about it differently where you say, like, I train every other day and days of the week are kind of irrelevant. Or you could say I train 2 days in a row and 1 day off. Mm-hmm. And then days of the week really aren't relevant because you're just, you shoot for that. It doesn't really matter. But a lot of people think in days of the week. And over the last probably at least year plus, I've changed something so I typically train 4 days per day. That's what I do on Juggernaut, and that's what I usually do otherwise, assuming I'm able to train, assuming there's not a weird week when I can't do that. But that's what I normally shoot for. And I've changed something where what's the first day of the week that you train?
Well,
usually, like, what days of the week does your training start with? If in a perfect world,
in a perfect world, Monday.
Right. And that's probably what most people do, right? Like in a perfect world,
starts on Monday,
Yeah, and I've changed mine, and I have to actually manipulate Juggernaut to do this, where I start my training week on Sunday.
Oh.
Because Sunday is a day that I usually get to go to the gym, not during my lunch hour of work. Mm-hmm. And I really like starting the week off with like my time that I'm going to be able to usually dedicate the most to my training.
A really good quality session.
Right. Rather than having that be my 4th training day of the week, because that would be the alternative. It doesn't really matter. I don't even know why I do this for sure. Other than the reasons just explained here, and I don't think it really matters because for most people, they would consider if they're going to train on Sunday, that's their last training day of the week.
Right. And it really is just, really what we're talking about here is day 1, 2, 3, and 4 is really
right.
Right. Because that's a question people always get in Juggernaut. They're like, oh, I pick 3 days a week and it has me Monday, Wednesday, Friday or whatever. Does it mess it up if I go Tuesday, Thursday? And
no, it doesn't matter at all.
I'll have 1 week where I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The next week I might go Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. The next week I might go Monday, Thursday, Friday. Like my weeks are never consistent, and I wish they were, but unfortunately that's like I can't. It just doesn't work for my life that way.
And what you're saying is right, that we're really just talking about training days 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, or however many training days, and you're just doing those in the order that
I live 3 days a week, so I have training days 1, 2, and 3, and I don't care.
Right.
Yes, in a perfect world, those fall about a day apart.
Right.
But sometimes that's not how it works.
But when you're setting Juggernaut up, you do have to pick the days of the week that
does it actually
like
ask you
to train.
That? See,
it actually does. It actually does make you pick the days of the week. And the reason I know, because, I say, ideally I want to train Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And those are my 4, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mm-hmm. And in that order for me. And when I do that and set it up and I say, my first training day of the block it's Sunday today.
It doesn't let you pick
and
that.
It does, but what it does is it puts you on it's not even a bridge block day. It's like this is your preparatory day before the block really starts. And then the block starts the next day on Monday. Oh. It's like gives you this one extra day because it's like really thinking you can't start on Sunday.
Yeah, you almost
so I just changed my training days. Right. I
Yeah.
just changed all my training days. Instead of Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I just say Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
But I actually do them on Sunday, Monday, you know, ideally, and it changes. But it's exactly what you said. I just think of it as training days 1, 2, 3, and 4. But it does not want to let you think that because Sunday is not the start of the week.
That is interesting.
You know, Sunday is the end of the week.
Right. It's the freaking weekend, baby.
Yeah, about to have me some fun. So I just thought that so I had to somewhat manipulate it just for it to let me really talk about.
To send that into Chad. Tell him.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's a Juggernaut AA problem. That's a me problem. Thinking that I start my training
maybe that
week
is the problem,
on a Sunday.
you're starting your week on the wrong day.
Right. When nobody thinks that
Then they're like,
Sunday is the start of the week.
My week starts on a Saturday.
Right. Which you could make. I could actually wrap my head around that case though too. You're like, because I train weekend. You know, someone says
also depending on your work schedule too. Some people's week probably starts on a Wednesday. You know,
right? So like, someone might say, I want my training week to start on a Saturday because Saturday and Sunday are going to be my two definitive days that I know I get to train.
Just pick one up or pick one or two up during the week.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious what most people think of as their first training day of the week. Although it's just this weird thing. The more you think about it, it's even like, oh, we're just really talking about. What are we even talking about?
I don't even think of it that way. I just think of it training days 1, 2, 3,
Right.
and I've given up on thinking of it as a day so long ago because it just never works that way.
Yeah. And mine is often different anyways. It's just I always think of it in the perfect scenario. I'm going to train Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
But that might even, might happen 50% of the time or, something like that. So that's that. What do we got there? We've got a couple more topics. We've got
one teaser here. This will be I think that we'll talk about this more in depth next week.
Yeah.
I have
we should talk about this a little bit though.
Started tracking my food. I downloaded Macro Factor and I have not done any food tracking since probably when was the first powerlifting meet we did, Tanner? Was that 2016? 2015?
Yeah, it might have been 2015.
So 2015, so almost 10 years ago was like the last time I actually tracked anything. And even then I wasn't doing a very good job of tracking it. I've been doing a very, very pretty strict job of it here the last about a week now. And I have a lot of thoughts. So we will talk about that much more in depth next week, but little teaser, what's to come.
Oh, one thing here. I do have a follow-up to what you just said there, but also I was looking you up in open powerlifting.
Oh,
you're gonna have to message them. They got you in as Tommy to face. Yeah. Now you're in there twice.
I did see that.
I want to look at your whole history all in one. Not
I know, and they do. You can file the thing because that does happen.
Yeah.
Did you see though? Let me look and see if this has been changed.
Yeah, they didn't. They only had one platform in there for.
But it's not even one platform because like Larry's in there too, but he wasn't on my platform.
Okay, so it's not one.
I guess actually Larry might have been on my platform. Yeah, Larry was on my platform.
So you think it's just platform one?
Yeah, because like Matthias isn't on here and he won, best lifter, and he's not.
Right, and this does appear to be about half. There's 40 some lifters on this list. So
yeah, I did.
So we're still missing a platform. I want to see that just because I want to see everyone.
I know. I kept checking Open Powerlifting Daily, waiting for we're talking about the results of the meet here. I just wanted to see where everyone ended up because I just didn't see on the day of. And the meet is in there, but it is only about half the lifters, so we'll have to be on the lookout for the other half.
Yeah, but so for the tracking, when you did it, it was 2015 was that first meet. So when you did it back in 2015, was it MyFitnessPal?
That was the one, yes.
I mean, was there anything else? That's what we all used. That's what everyone used.
The world was so different then.
Right. I don't remember anything other than
I don't either. I don't remember anything else. So yeah, I mean, that was what I used. I don't even know if there was any other things that existed at the time.
So Macro Factor, that's one you're using right now?
Yep.
So you're all set up, and are you using it right now? Like today, did you use it?
I've logged every item outside of like some condiments. I've logged every single thing I've eaten it for the last week already.
Okay.
And actually with a food scale and everything too. So like these are exact weights.
And so what do you put in it for your goals? Like, are you saying like what you want to do?
Yeah, it asks you if you want to
like
lose weight, gain weight, maintain. And as of right now, I'm weighing about 214. I just put maintain because in my mind, I've just recently, this last 3 months have been the first time I've even paid attention to like protein levels in a very long time. I think I can do a lot of optimizing at maintaining without having to bulk right now. So
so what does it tell you then? What does it want you to do then? Is it giving you your macros, your goal, macro goals, or your calorie goals, or what?
It wants to let you do kind of whatever you want, and that's so the way it guides you is based off of what you tell it. And so for me, it was enter your age, weight, all of that, like your estimated body fat, which, luckily we did an in-body scan. So I had a rough idea there. And then it asked like your activity level as far as steps. And then it asked a question about like, your experience or what your level with cardio is, if you're doing any cardio, and then also which is like none for me. And then also if you're doing like weightlifting, what your level is there of experience. And, so you put those in, and then it asks you what your goal is. And then it asks you like for protein. It asks you if you have any.
Well, and actually, maybe we.
Maybe we are getting ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah. Because we do want to talk about this in more detail.
Because I'll start going, and then it'll be.
And I do have a lot of questions because I'm purely curious for myself. Like, should I be trying this? So maybe that's just the teaser. We'll continue this conversation next week.
Good call. I would have started going too deep there.
Well, that's it. I'm like, I have a lot. I actually have a lot of genuine questions that I want to find out about how it works, because I too have not used anything since MyFitnessPal 10 years ago.
I will say there have been
still have on my phone
a few things one weekend that are pretty eye-opening to me. That is That is for sure.
All right, good. Well, I'm excited to talk about more of that next week then, actually. We're going to talk about these apparel businesses, or do you want to talk about the Olympics?
Maybe the apparel business thing we can save for next week, because we could talk about that.
Let's save that then. Yeah, let's save that then. So,
have you caught?
What have you been watching on the Olympic front?
Yeah, have you caught any of them at all?
Yes, I kind of pop it on our main or our living area TV. Usually in the evening, I just pop on whatever's on
prime time.
Yeah, and my daughters love watching the gymnastics, so that's been fun. Swimming kind of interests me. Usually, watching a little bit of the swimming interests me. 3-on-3 basketball was on tonight. And
really? I didn't even know that was a...
Yeah, Jimmer Fredette is on the men's team.
Really?
And Haley Van Lith is on the women's team.
Oh, okay.
So there kind of is some star power.
So
with
is
the
there
3-on-3.
Because Jimmer Fredette, he doesn't play in the NBA, does he?
There's no NBA players on the
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Is our pros
on the 3x3? Female one, there's WNBA players.
Oh, there are. Interesting.
But there is no... One of the men is one of Brent Barry's kids, too, but also didn't play in the NBA. But Jimmer Fredette is on the team, so that makes it kind of interesting. Yeah, obviously.
Was he BYU or where did he?
Yeah, and he had that March Madness run that was pretty. He took the world by storm actually for a year, and then in the NBA, I think he got drafted by the Kings and never impressed, and maybe never got a shot, or a combination of both. Some of those players like that, it's like if you never really get a shot, you don't ever really know.
Or if like you have a few shots and you're just like a dud, and they're like, yep, we tried that and that was it.
Right. And it's like, well, were they though? Or did they just need
like how many guys get like seasons to try and make this work?
Right. Right. But that 3-on-3 was kind of interesting. The men's basketball, I'm loving that, because
I haven't actually caught any of that yet. That's the one thing I haven't seen anything of.
I watched, who did they? Oh, they played Joker. So Serbia. I watched. I didn't get to watch a lot. Well, I don't even know who watches what. I don't even know what's live. Usually, I try not to even pay attention.
I know. I try to. Yeah, same thing. I want to be sort of surprised when I see. Because I know primetime is just a recap, but
But the men's basketball is freaking awesome because it's LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, everyone else on the same team, and they're trying. Like it's not like an all-star game. Like these guys are playing like 2 like these guys are playing serious basketball.
Right. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? Was KD? He was like 21 points in the first half, like 5 for 5 threes. Like,
yeah.
I think it's the first time in his career he's done that.
Seeing these guys all play together and actually playing, is really cool. If you're a basketball fan. If you don't care about basketball, you might just like it just like you like any of it. But it is really cool basketball to watch. Although a lot of other teams are really good. Like basketball is an international sport now. Like when they play Serbia, all the starters are like NBA players. It's
well, and even like the home team France. You look at them, it's like okay, they have Gobert, they have Wemby.
I
don't know. There's
probably like three other guys that are on NBA rosters that you just don't really know.
You do realize, like when you see that, just pretty much
the Canadian team has a ton of NBA stars on the team.
It's just pretty much any random team you look at, and you're like, this country, who's from there? And then you look at the roster,
and then you're like, there's like one
guess.
Star, and then like a few other names I've heard of.
It's like, there are some role players I recognize. Yeah, that is when you realize how international of a game basketball really is.
And actually cool to a Massenomics tieback is South Sudan, who I think they won their first game.
Yep.
Jacob Ross is one of the strength coaches for South Sudan, so he's there with South Sudan, and they're kind of a big topic of discussion right now.
Well, did they in like the preliminary plays or whatever? Yeah, they lost by 1 to the US.
Actually, US might play South Sudan tomorrow.
Okay.
I think tomorrow afternoon. So yes, they did almost beat them. I mean, they have no business beating the US team.
Well,
like
their
that
entire
should
country
not
doesn't
happen.
have an indoor court. So
right. Then I've heard actually, Jacob does talk about it a decent bit on Let's Get Stupid. So I know we've both heard that too. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's really cool. I'm dominating talking about the basketball, but what else? Gymnastics, swimming, some volleyball. Tennis was on. Tennis does not captivate my attention.
Yeah, tennis is a little less exciting to me because there's just tennis on TV all the time anyways.
It just feels exactly like that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like different in any way, where these other ones it's different because either one, you don't see it on TV, or it's like matchups that you don't normally see, or the stakes just feel higher, where it's like, I don't know, the stakes...
Tennis stakes might feel lower.
It kind of does, like I don't know.
It's like they don't really give a shit about this.
In the tennis world, is winning a gold medal like more prestigious than like one of the
U.S. Open,
one of the majors French, or whatever they call them?
No,
I don't know. That's what I just assumed. Half the guys don't even do it.
Right.
So last night was the men's gymnastics, and I had a lot of fun watching that. Like those guys are jacked for sure.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, these dudes are jacked.
And how much it's kind of wild how much of men's gymnastics. I mean, yes, your whole body has to be very strong, but how much of their just everything they do revolves around walking on their hands. It's like everything is just like so upper body focused, and those guys have massive arms and massive upper bodies.
They have huge arms.
They do.
Arms and shoulders. Yeah.
And then all the memes going around of the guy that came in, the pommel horse expert that comes in at the very end. Did you see him with the glasses?
I didn't see that. No. Was he a gymnast or was he like an expert?
And it's so weird. I had the exact same reaction. So you see all these guys, the stars, they have like these huge delts and like these big biceps. It's like most power lifters look like their arms aren't that big,
Right.
And then there's this guy, and I think he's, by his own words, called himself a dork. He just has these glasses, and he goes out there and it's like, dude, your arms. I said this exactly to my wife. I'm like, what is this guy doing? He doesn't even look like he lifts weights. He doesn't look like he do anything. Right. And he's just the pommel horse ringer. They just bring him in to do the pommel horse, which you have to be really strong to do. And so that's the whole thing is he goes. And so like last night, we're watching it on primetime. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't realize the men hadn't won a medal since 2008. So it's been a long drought for them.
In the pommel horse?
No, in the team. In the team. And so like all the guys are going and they're just having like miracle run after miracle run. They're sticking landings nonstop. Like they're just getting like jacked out of their mind. Yeah. And it's just the last event of the whole thing is the pommel horse. And the last guy to go is the pommel horse expert. That's the only event he does. Yeah. And everyone else is like psyched out of their mind. They're doing all the events and he's just sitting in the corner with his glasses on. And it's like his turn to go up. He's not really getting into anything. And they're like, if he can nail this, if he doesn't have any disasters here, Team America is going to be on the podium for the first time since 2008. And he goes out and like he has his big glasses. And right before he goes, he takes them off, and then he's squinting so hard. You're like, this guy can't even see. How's he going to go on the pommel horse? And he goes out there, and he's just like whipping himself around, doing the whole thing, comes down, and then he's like, yeah. And then they grab him, and he's trying to get his glasses back on, and they're like throwing him in the air because they know, like, all right, he did what he needed to do. You know, he's the relief pitcher. He came in and saved the day, and that got him on the so there's all these memes now of like Superman, of like him taking his glasses off and being like, oh no, that's not me, you know. So that was a cool story to see. And it is also with the Olympics. You know, I'm a Minnesota sports fan, which kind of like dooms me to just like a life of disappointment. You know, like we're never really on the winning team, whereas when it comes to Olympics, it's like, we're America.
We get to all be on the winning team.
We're on the winning team here. Like, I can take some real American pride into this one. Like, we're the good guys. We're gonna beat all you guys here.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have been loving the Olympics.
That's good. I like it. It's almost whatever's on is probably entertaining.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, tonight was the women's. I'm pretty sure I saw they won a gold medal, just because like that gets on social media so much. But so I missed that. I'll probably watch that tomorrow or something. And then
boxing was on one time I was watching.
Oh really? See,
boxing didn't interest me that much.
And does anyone?
I think the boxers are like the right. It is, and that's probably part of why it's less.
Track and field's the one I'm really excited for, just because those guys are
kind of the premier event.
It's hard.
Gymnastics and track. I mean, gymnastics is a big one though too. Like I feel like everyone likes the gymnastics.
I watch gymnastics though, and I think, I don't know, is there actually a harder sport than the top tier gymnastics? I mean, you don't have. I just think of the pressure, how much the pressure is on. You know, like these people have been. This is 4 years. And everything had to go perfect to qualify, like 5 steps along the way to even make the team here. And then you make the team, and like there's basically no redo or like, oh, I just had a bad.
Yeah, you better hope you don't take one tiny extra little step.
Yeah, the stakes are just so high. Like you can't have a bad event, or one, you're completely out of the running for that event, or maybe your team's out of it too. And the stakes are just so high. It's so technical. It's so specialized. It's a very impressive sport.
It is. Any other ones you're looking forward to that we didn't talk about? Track and field for sure, obviously.
Yeah, I mean that's the big one I'm most excited for now is track and field. Now that gymnastics I think is mostly, or maybe they have individuals coming up here, so there might be some more gymnastics. But
I like seeing Anthony Edwards in the crowd to watch whatever, and then,
like table tennis and all this.
All the star like people that are legitimate. Star athletes, like outside fans. Of the right, and that's USA men's that's men's basketball. Like when it comes to Olympics, what other events are people that are superstars outside of the Olympics?
Ooh.
Maybe track
occasional
stars.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little more crossover with
some track
and Simone Biles, about as big as it gets there.
But that really is just because of the Olympics. Like, what else do they even like?
Right?
Are people watching? Like,
there's not like a regular season where people are also fans.
Right? It's like no, people are really big fans of her every 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, you could like there's skateboarding, and there's some people like if you're into that, like those people have some really big followings, and like they are always putting stuff out. But again, that's such a different sport that it's almost doesn't carry over. Yeah, I mean the NBA people have to be about the biggest names.
Oh, they are. I mean, there's a reason you put LeBron James holding the. I mean, because every other Olympian out there for the Americas is excited to they want to say hi to LeBron James.
Oh, I loved all the memes of LeBron James crossing the Delaware. But he's just so stupid. Those are good.
Those are funny. Yeah, how much longer does it go? Like, is there a few more weeks of this? Or
I think we got 2 weeks, isn't it?
Okay,
like 16 days or 14 days altogether. There's a lot there.
Gives us something to pay attention to.
Oh yeah,
distract us from all the politics stuff. Am I right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the F1 season is actually about as exciting as it's ever been now. In case people they're on summer break now, but it's actually worth watching again now.
Is it in the beginning? So it's does that mean mid-year or
mid-year? Summer break has officially started. So they're like 13, 14 races in. And the
Is
Red
it not
Bull,
the Verstappen guy that's just winning? Or
the
not?
Red Bull Max Verstappen dominance has been stopped. It is now almost anyone's game any week.
Why?
Now.
What brought him down to the same level as everyone else?
You could say I don't know enough of it for sure, but other people just takes long
because
enough.
He's the only name I know.
Yeah,
and like I feel like
Lewis Hamilton, maybe you know him, but
I've maybe heard the name, but I hear the other like he's famous.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean he won last year. He won
bit,
23 of 24 races, and then he won like the first 6 of this year, and a lot of them weren't even close. But I mean, supposedly what's happening is just other people's car development because they're always developing their cars.
Because what brand of car does he drive though? Or
what's that?
What make of car does he drive?
So Max Verstappen's Red Bull.
Okay.
And then now like Mercedes is finally competitive again. McLaren's competitive again. Ferrari.
So Red Bull is the kind of like is the manufacturer of the car.
Like Honda was providing their engines, and then Honda like backed out, and so now like Red Bull makes their own engines too, which is kind of.
So why doesn't Red Bull make a?
They
for
are
sale too.
So
okay.
they are going to make
that. They should be doing that. They should.
Yeah, they're going to make like a hypercar, you know, like a $3 million car with like 200.
But there'll probably be a bunch of people that would love to spend that much money.
I'm assuming because like their car designer, his name's Adrian Newey. He's known as the most legendary car designer in the history of F1. Basically, like he's designed more season winning cars than anyone. And so he is like kind of the designer behind this road car that you can buy. So I don't know, it'd be interesting to see. But also the brand name does mean so much. And at the end of the day, if people are going to spend $3 million, do they want to spend $3 million on a red car that says Red Bull or a car that says Ferrari? And like Ferrari's a safe bet every time.
Somebody probably wants,
but some people somebody probably does. Like it's not a guarantee, but I'm sure they're big enough that they can make it work.
Well, and if it's a rare enough, and if also they are the best, like in like that matters too. That people are like, no, they're the best. Like they're doing it the best.
But I saw a thing. So have you ever heard of this car? It's called the Rimac Nevera.
No.
So it is like the most high end car. Well, it's electric. So that's the thing that's hurting it. It's an electric car, but it is the most high end electric car you can buy. It's like I think it's $3 or $4 million. They only made like 100.
So is it nicer than like a Chevy Volt?
It's like a Volt times 2. But like Rimac, they're part of like the whole Volkswagen group, like Audi, Lamborghini. Like they are the pinnacle of engineering of what can be done. It is the absolute fastest car you can buy. Like it does everything. As far as specs go, it's the best. It's the best there is.
Right.
And they had released a thing saying like they've only managed to sell like 50 of them because it's electric. And like the people that are buying these, like, yeah, we'd rather not have a super crazy electric car. We just
because what do you think the retail is on it?
It's several million. I'll tell you right now. It's
right.
This says it starts around 2.2 million and goes up to 3 million depending on the trim and everything. But so super high end. I mean, there's not a ton of people in the world that are buying these cars, but and everyone that says is like, yeah, I mean, this is the pinnacle of what a car can do. But at the end of the day, it's electric, and so just that level of people like, nah, we'd rather have the whatever crazy limited edition thing Ferrari or McLaren or Lamborghini's doing.
And also like obviously $2 or $3 million for a car is absolutely an insane price, but just kind of guessing how much money these people have at that
level.
If you're only selling 100, you're probably still just losing tons of money. You know,
probably. And that's the thing, you know, they're part of Volkswagen. So it's like, all right, they're part of the biggest auto group in the world.
Right.
And so like, this is kind of like R&D that bleeds into what the other ones are doing. But yeah, it's an interesting world.
So the other cars they're figuring out how to,
the other cars are finally competitive. So that's where it's now anyone's game kind of any week. You know, certain tracks are better suited to other cars, but
I don't obviously know about racing, but in NASCAR, isn't there like restrictor plates that they do something that things are restricted?
I don't know a ton about NASCAR, but I think isn't that on like the really big tracks that stop like at Daytona to stop them from going like 240 miles an hour or whatever?
Is there anything in F1 that's like where it's like you can't do this to your car?
Well,
like,
yeah,
you know
I mean that's what like, the sport of F1 is. It's read the rule book and come up with every creative way to break the rules.
Right.
And then until they make
outside of the rule.
Yeah, but I mean, like in F1 though, where it's different than NASCAR is like you do need a car that can make really fast turns and do these things. So, yeah, I mean, like they have to have cars that have high levels of like aerodynamics and, you know, downforce in the corners. And like the more downforce you have, the more that affects top speed. And so like they set cars up different all the time, but they are playing more of a balancing act than what NASCAR does with that.
And they still have a big rule book though too, where it's like everything has to fit within.
Well, actually, and even this week, the winner for Mercedes, he got done with the race, drove a pretty incredible race, made it to the end. He was getting attacked right at the end by some guys. He held them off, wins the race, wins first place, his first win of the season. Then they go to inspections, and his car was like 2.5 kilos underweight, DQ'd, lost the win. So everyone moved up one spot on the podium then. So yeah, it is fairly strict.
But I wonder, like, the purpose of some of those rules, like that, for example.
Well, so like
that's an advantage and makes it faster. Why don't you just want to be like, yeah, let's let them be faster?
Yeah, and
like,
I actually don't know how they come to terms with like what the minimum weight is, because there is a minimum weight. And like with him, I guess what happened is like they were putting on, because like I said, there was in these development levels, they were putting on like a parts package that was new for this week. And they decided, no, actually that parts package is not what we want. And maybe didn't get all of the old parts back on. And so, you know, we're talking 5 pounds. Like kilos, they missed one little thing here and there's 5 pounds missing.
Are the drivers small?
Oh yeah. They all have to weigh.
Are the drivers like 5'5" or?
Yeah. I mean, the Japanese driver, Yuki Tsunoda, is like when you see pictures of him, he might be 5 foot tall is all.
Okay.
He's very tiny. But I mean, all the drivers are very, very lean. I mean, they're skinny. They do look somewhat athletic. But yeah, they're all very lean. And I don't know what the rules on this are either, but when they're done with the race, the first thing they do is they have to go over to a scale and a person weighs them. And I'm not totally sure what the rules are on that, but the weight is a very important factor in the whole thing.
Right. No F1 in the Olympics, though?
No F1 in the Olympics.
Is there any motorized vehicle
probably the closest you get
competition in the Olympics?
Probably the closest you get is a bike, right? But nothing motorized. I don't think there's anything motorized in the Olympics, is there?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think any winter or otherwise. There's nothing with a motor on it, right?
Yeah. Nope, I don't think so. I as a person that enjoys racing, watching racing, and enjoys Olympic sports, I don't think that racing is a good fit for an Olympic sport.
It has a home?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, racing is always just whether people want to admit it, it's so much just dependent on money. Like how much money can you throw at a problem? And I'm not sure that's
what about my thought today is, does 3-on-3 basketball need to be in the, like what?
Also
like we're like, no, let's take a sport and be like, no, now we'll play the sport with half as many people, and that's a different sport.
And also that like no one really plays competitively either. You know, like you played basketball your whole life. Like, did you ever have like long stretches?
There is 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yeah, but like it's like a dumb one-off thing though, right? It's not like you were prepping for a 3-on-3.
3-on-3 is a common.
Yeah, it's a common thing, but no one like practices like
you don't
periods of time with their 3-on-3 team.
No, that is true. Like, and I'm just like, why do we need the same sport? But like, we're also going to compete it to see who's the best when we only play with 3 on the,
that is weird. Cause I was going to say, well, tennis has doubles, but that actually is a version of tennis that people play, like that's
true.
An actual recognized, like the NBA doesn't have a 3-on-3 league that plays before the NBA game.
Yeah. I guess that's an interesting comparison, but
it's not though. It's still different.
Right. What about skateboarding in the Olympics? What do you think about that?
I think it's kind of funny. I think even a lot of the people in skateboarding think it's funny. One thing couldn't figure out.
It seems odd to me that that's an Olympic sport.
It does seem odd, but at the same time, I guess, actually, this is something I was talking with my wife about, is gymnastics, for being such a big sport and all this, at the end of the day, it's completely dependent on judges' scores.
I know.
And powerlifting
and I don't even understand. Like when I watch it, I don't even know what I guess it's interesting because they're doing crazy stuff, but you're like, I'll watch and be like, I don't know.
There's some things.
It was good, apparently.
I like to think that I'm maybe like a step above being the dumbest person about gymnastics. Like last night, they were talking like, okay, 1 step is a 10th point deduction. Or like if you do a big step, that's 0.3 of a point. And they're like, all right, on this dismount, you want to look if their chest is parallel with the ground when they land, like you're looking at a deduction there. I'm like, oh, okay, like those are objective things. I can see how you can do those. Not like, I kind of like the dunk contest where they're just holding up 8s all the time. You know, there is some objective criteria here, but at the end of the day, it's so crazy because powerlifting can't even decide if their judges know what the hell they're talking about. And that's for like the simplest thing in the world. When then you have this crazy stuff going on, and then like the judges play it back. And then they're like, I think they're also saying, and the judges are watching this in real time. They don't get to see a replay to score any of this.
Well, that's like figure skating in the winter.
Yeah, which is, I want to be like, who are these judges? What are they doing? Like, are they ever, because the announcers aren't very harsh on them either. Like they'll be like, oh, that's a good, I only heard him say once. They're like, oh, wow. His routine yesterday was better, or his routine today is better than yesterday, and he got a worse score. That was a tough one. And then they move on. Like they don't like dwell on the judges thing very long, which surprises me.
There's a decent bit of those sports that are like that.
Well, but I mean, so skateboarding's the same way too. And I'm not sure what the criteria is,
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what the criteria is for how they do that, but apparently they've settled on a system that people seem to be okay with because it is big names doing the skateboarding. It's not like they just have amateurs or people you've never heard of.
Who is like the best skateboarder?
I mean, the one that always sticks out to me is Nigel Houston. He's been doing it like forever. Like I remember when I was big into skateboarding, he was on, I'm pretty sure his Element was the team. And he was like a little kid that had dreadlocks like down to his knees. I mean, he was probably like a third grader. He was basically a pro for them already. And now, I mean, he's just like the best contest skater in the world. But I think he got the silver medal, it said. So I'm not sure who beat him, but
okay.
I mean, consistent one, like for sure though, he has been skateboarding since he could walk, but he's been pro since probably elementary school. And that was over 20 years ago. So he's been at it a very long time in a sport that tends to have issues with people with, drug, alcohol, or other addiction issues. And they have a hard time sticking in it super long. He's managed to do it.
I guess commentary that Olympics have some odd sports in them is nothing novel either.
No,
like,
it's really not actually.
This.
And
but when you actually watch them and think some about them, it's like, man, it's kind of odd.
Yeah, I would say, I guess the one thing skateboarding has going for it though is, I mean, there's not a lot of sports in the Summer Olympics that I would say more people can relate to in one way or another. Like there's not very many people that have never stepped on a skateboard. There's a lot of sports that in the Summer Olympics that people have never done or never have
and
access
will
to.
Never do.
Actually, you know what? The closest one to me of like feeling like, I don't know if this totally makes sense is the horse ones.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like,
equestrian
at the end of the day, isn't this like, you got to buy a really nice ass horse? Like these horses cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars, don't they?
Yeah. It's like borderline, transitioning to what we're talking about with sport, contests with motors.
Yeah, like that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, and this is my totally uneducated opinion on how horses go, but the little bit I know about horses is horses are insanely expensive once you start getting to horses that like win contests and prizes and shit like that.
Yes.
Right? Like, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars is not.
If probably millions in some cases, I would guess, like in the right blood, whatever, siring.
Yeah.
I've seen Seabiscuit before.
Their horse terminology. 5 hands and 10 furloughs or whatever they go by.
War Admiral. It was a lot of hands. Seabiscuit. Oh, does that wrap up the 2024 Olympics?
I think that wraps up Olympic talk for this week.
Okay. Probably wraps us up all together this week. I would love everyone to come check out our supporting membership. That's massenomics.com/join. Check out options. We would love to have you. It is what helps keep the podcasting going, as said before. Check out massenomics.com, the apparel that we've got for sale there. Tees, shorts, a few hats. Actually, from the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, there's just a few hats, just a few silly pints left, and then numbers on the tees are okay. There's not many tees left, but there's actually like extra large, 2X, medium, all those options still in the contest tee. And then our drink spotters, which we have Drink Spotter Light, Drink Spotter XL, and the OG Drink Spotter. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Please check out our YouTube channel. This last week we published our, we did our Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic vlog, like 3-4 day long video, which that video is awesome. It was like 30 minutes long. Loved that one. So make sure to check it out. That's just a blast. Like, I dare someone to watch that and not think that this is, even if you weren't at it, to not think this has to be
that
the
looks
most
like a
fun
good ass time.
strength event that exists. Like there is not, I just don't know that there's one in the world. There's bigger ones. There's ones with bigger lifters and there's stuff like that. But I don't think there's one that's more fun.
Also,
there can't
is there
be.
any
There's
that
no-
provide an itinerary for an entire weekend of activities?
That's what I'm saying. It's a weekend experience.
Yeah.
It's like Disneyland of
freaking
lifting.
festival over here.
Right. Yeah, that's what it is. So check that video out. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not already. And Tommy, where do they find you at?
Find me at Tomahawk_D.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
And you can follow me at Tanner_Bear. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.